In our last video talking about clone trooper death counts, we discussed the infamous Pong Krell and the various atrocities he committed throughout the Clone Wars, including being the Jedi General who had the highest amount of casualties under his name. In this episode, however, we will be looking at the polar opposite of Krell, and we will look at the Jedi who was considered the most compassionate and had the least amount of clone casualties. We will obviously not count Jedi who did not have active forces that fought under them, and Jedi who distrusted clones and did not fight with them. Such Jedi include Ram Koda. We also will not be including Jedi and clones stationed on places where there was not much conflict. Such places include Kamino and Coruscant. Although we don't know who definitively had the least amount of casualties, as it was never stated in the movies or TV shows, we do have a good understanding and estimate of which Jedi it was. Feel free to debate this in the comments, as it is an educated guess and can be interpreted in different ways. There are 2 or 3 other Jedi who fit the description, but we have narrowed it down to 1. Obi-Wan Kenobi was commander of the 212th Legion, a renowned clone battalion known for their spectacular pilots as well as ground troops. Although the 212th had been through some really rough battles such as the Battle of Sarish, it is still one of the clone battalions with the least amount of casualties. Compared to other clone legions, the 212th had really consistent battles that, although had some casualties, did not have as many as other clone battalions in other battles. Obi-Wan was a large reason as to why his battalion did not take as many casualties. He had mastered the fighting style known as Sarisu and was skilled in deflecting blaster fire, and in doing so, saving his clones from these deadly lasers. Not only was it due to Obi-Wan's skill in battle, but also how compassionate Obi-Wan was toward his clones. Alongside with Plo Koon and Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan felt very strongly about his clone force, and this contributed to how they felt about him, and therefore increased overall morale. The final defining factor that led the 212th Legion to have minimal casualties was the skillfulness and durability of their gunship pilots. Aside from being one of the most stable and durable armies in the Republic, the 212th had the best LAAT gunships in the galaxy. The reason this was so critical in reducing casualties is because it could hold up to 30 passengers. If the gunship exploded mid-air, all inside were dead. Even if the pilot only lost control of the ship, the rate of survival was extremely low. In saying this, every gunship that was shot down would lose 20 to 30 men, and even leaving Jedi vulnerable. This is why the 212th had their low casualty rates. Although they would lose a few ships while invading the enemy, many of the pilots would withstand the pressure and land the troops safely on the ground. There are a number of factors that indicated the 212th were a stable and strong legion. The leadership of Obi-Wan Kenobi, combined with the camaraderie and skill of the clones, led the 212th Army to become the legion with possibly the least amount of casualties. The Wolfpack and 501st were close contenders for this spot. However, the Wolfpack suffered enormous losses at the hands of the Separatist secret weapon at the Battle of Abrogado, and the 501st, from observation in the Clone Wars TV show, lost more men than the 212th. If you have any differing observations or opinions, please leave them in the comments below and I will try to answer them. Please keep in mind that this video is theory and not strictly fact.